Oh, who would like to do this? Are y'all had your fill?
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to go to my history class.
Okay, somebody come on up and push some buttons for me, please.
It's really easy.
It's really easy. Right on. Thank you for volunteering. These are the buttons. All the buttons with tape on them, you can just push them and you'll see the different views. You'll get it figured out. And then that's what's being recorded on that screen. So you can find all the code that's used in the training at this URL. It's GitHub, right? But I will add that to Blackboard too, so you have the link right in there.
Cool, actually, what buttons am I pushing here?
What's that?
What buttons am I pushing here?
Oh, the ones with the tape. That's it. And you can see how it changes it.
Oh, okay.
So if you're watching this video online, you don't have access to Blackboard, but you could still just go to GitHub, and I'll show the URL again, and see all the code. Oh, dang it! See all the code there. So that's where all the code is. It'll be used in this training, this class. All right, so let's look at Hello World and creating a file. So we're in WebStorm, and up there at the top right, you just kind of right-click. So right here, if I want to create something new, I'd right-click on the folder I want to create it in, and then say New Directory, New File. That's pretty much, or HTML, or Style Sheet, or JavaScript. Those are like pretty much the options. So again, just right-click, New, and the right-clicking on it's also where you find local history and refactor, rename, that kind of stuff. So create a new Go file, and the first time you do that in WebStorm, it's going to say, hey, your SDK is not set up. So you just click the little link, and it's going to ask you for that path. And so the path is to the SDK, so that's going to be at this location on my computer. If you're on a Mac, that's where it default installs. That's not my workspace, it's the Go root. So you could also run what Go command at the terminal to see all of your variables, your environment variables. Go what? Go env. Will show you all your environment variables. So I could have also just said go env, and there's my Go root, and that's what it's looking for, the SDK.
What would you put to import it into your libraries, the Go SDK? Like, how do you do it?
Import it into my libraries. What do you mean?
Like, it's under external libraries Go SDK. Like, how would I get it there? How would I direct it to the directory?
Let me come take a look. You're looking at it right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so just hold that position, and after I kind of blow through these slides, I'll help everybody individually. I think that's better for the people watching online. So once I have that file created, I want to have package main, import format. So format is package library in the Golang SDK library, whatever, Golang SDK. And then I'm going to use format print, the function print. And I'm going to do a print line, hello world. And so here's some things that sort of explain that. So the first thing up there at the top is package main. And do you want me just to give you a second to read this stuff? Because often when people put slides up, everybody stops listening to the presenter and they start reading slides with a lot of text. Why don't you just read it? I'll just give you a second to read.
The main package is actually confuses me right there. Okay, we got the folder with the name. Package must have the same name, but when you go to code, it is package main.
Yeah, so maybe I should change that. Whoops. There you go.
Thank you.
Thanks for pointing that out. Yeah, if you're confused by any of the wording or whatever, let me know. That just helped clarify it. Just keep in package main, package main. So every Go file needs to have package at the top. And Go creates executable code. And so you need to have a package main for your code to be executable, right? Turned into a program that can run on its own. When we do App Engine stuff, that is different, I believe. A little bit since I've looked at that. I'm not going to go look it up right now. But so package main creates your executable code. You could also have packages with other names. And so we create down here you could see string util. So if I opened up capitalized.go, what you would see at the top of capitalized.go is package string util. Right? You'd see that at the top of this file, this file, this file, this file. So string util is a folder, right? And that could also be thought of as a package. You can see here pretty soon, I'm like, I guess I don't say it in here, but pretty much, folders and, there we go, yeah, that's where we're at. Folders, packages are kind of like, have a lot to do with folders, right? So this folder here is the string util package, and inside it are all these files. So a package can have many. You kind of just think like for beginning, you could just think folders equal packages, right? Packages actually mean a little bit more than that, but you could just think my packages are in folders, but just think, oh, this is a folder, it's a package, same thing.
Quick
right?
question.
Yeah.
In my thinking, so the package, as you have it in the folder, basically it's just like a present that you open up with all the files in it.
A present? Yeah, or a box or a folder.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a container that, here's the package, it's a folder, it's a package folder, folder package, same thing, folder equals package. And inside I can put a bunch of files. And each of these files, because they're part of this package folder, right, they're going to say package string util at the top. So if I actually went and opened that up, so, seeing's believing, here we're looking at library, string util, and package string util, package string util, package string util, package string util. Those all say package string util up at the top. Did you guys see that? Did I close them too fast? Right?
Can your package be named anything?
Yeah, you call it whatever you want. And there is naming conventions, and their naming conventions are to try to keep things really short, evocative, concise. And don't worry about, collisions because we have unique namespaces, and try to avoid stutter, right? So you try to keep things really, really short, really self-explanatory. Yeah. And a really good example, a good place to look for how to name packages is just right down in the Go SDK. And you can see, okay, here's the source file for the Go SDK, buff.io, cmd, format, Go, right? Like these are all really short package names, And then here's the net package, and inside is the HTTP package, right? And then here's the net URL package, And so, folders can have folders in it, and this would be, and I'm getting a little ahead of myself, I'll see this in the code, but the package would be everything after source. So what's source? That's because this is the Go SDK, and so then the Go SDK is going to, have a source folder just like our workspace has a source folder, right? So my workspace has a source folder, and when I look at the source folder of my workspace, right? I've got github.com, goes to 11, and Golang training. And the package, unique package name, we've already learned this is what? For that highlighted folder right there. What's the unique name for that folder? Unique name. That package.
The whole path with your...
It's everything after source,
yeah.
right? github.com/goes11/Golang training, right? Is the path, the name of that package and the path of that package.
So where's firstfile.go right now?
Right here, hello world.
Okay, you
So
don't have
everything after source then is
Everything after source.
So your string utility package, did it have a main package somewhere in there?
No, because I don't. It's not going to be an executable. I'm just going to use that. It's a
You're gonna
utility.
use that, okay.
Yeah, I don't need to be compiled down to binary. It has no main, right? But I'm going to use that maybe up here in Hello Go, and I could call the code I wrote here over here on my main, right? And that way I could start organizing my code and chunking it up, right?
Or any other one too, right?
Huh?
In that one or any other.
Or any other place,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. I could then import this package right here into any other program, some program down here, right? This program right here, I could say, okay, well, hey, import, and my import path when I go to my import statement would be github.com/goes11/Golang training/O2 library /string util, for string util, and then I'd be able to use anything that's in this package. And I can have as many files as I want there, and it just knows, oh, these are all the files in that package. And if there's one function on one of those files that I call, because I have the string util thing, it'll run. And I would call it, by string util dot function, whatever the function is.
And that would be the same way in which the gentleman was saying about how you would import external files. Basically, you would just take that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So importing somebody else's code, and it'd bring it down actually and put it in here. Like here I have code under here from new 7 hatch, and I want to use his code. So I'd import, when I was ready to use it, I'd import github.com new 7 hatch go uuid, and then I could use all of his functions, right? And what?
Oh, I'm sorry. But
That's right.
I was going to say, in normal, we would say, like, we go to GitHub directly. We would just basically download that and put it in our folder.
And we're going to see that. We're going to see how to use GoGet to go get other people's code, and it just drops it right into your directory and it's ready to use.
Now, if you have any more Go files that you're going to use with Hello World in the same folder, they'll have a package Hello World, right? I'll have to start with that? Because they're in that folder?
I don't know. I got to think about that for a second. Hold on. So Bob's saying, hey, we got main right here. Could we also drop in a new file? So let's create a new file, and we'll call this one my name, or, there are 2 hard things in computer science. You guys know this?
Naming.
Yeah. The first thing is clearing cache, and the second thing is naming stuff.
Yeah.
That's somebody's quote. I actually have it in a slide later on.
That makes sense.
But so I don't know, whatever. I'm just going to call this whatever. And so and it's package hello world, and then I don't need to import anything here, and I don't have to have any funcs. I could just do var my name string is equal to Todd. Okay, that's it. And then I could come back over here, and I could do another format.println. Hello, and I want, what did I call it? My name. I don't know if that will work, but interesting experiment. Var my name string. So maybe if we did func, we're going down a little bit of a road here. Just
Did it
Username.
start out by printing package Hello World all automatically? You didn't type that in? Or did you type that in?
package hello world created that automatically.
Created automatically.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll work with that later. Live coding, not quite. Hello. Oh, you know what I need? There we go. And let's come back here. And that's still there. Or my name string. I'm just looking at this. I do have that very similar example. Down here. We'll see it in a second.
So
All right.
this is kind of like Linux. Like we get a package or repository. Instead, it would be go get.
I don't know the Linux stuff that you're talking about, but
I'm just very light with it. Don't
yeah.
Trust me, I'm not.
All right, so we got every Go file begins with the package name. The name of the package must be the same as the folder name except for the package main. Package main is the entry point for your program. Package main also needs to contain func main. So that's how you do a function right there. And the format package is being imported, so that allows me to use, print line. And something that's kind of cool is right here. If I go, let's get rid of that whole line. If I go right here, I could hold down Command. I don't know, did I show you this Tuesday? And it turns into links. So it'll take me right to the code. So now I'm in, the format package, and I'm seeing the print line function and what it does from the source code. Or if I went over format, it'd take me to the format package right down there. And then somewhere in there, in one of the files, print.go, and that file is this function, right? So that's how you could kind of get from here to the source code pretty quickly, just to see what the source code's doing. Back here, we've got format print line, and I just like to use the correct verbiage when, or make sure I understand the correct verbiage. You hear people use parameters and arguments pretty interchangeably, but a parameter is the variable which is part of the function's signature, part of the declaration. An argument is an expression used when calling the func, so just making a distinction there.
So what's?
So go again?
Well, what's the parameter there and what's the argument there?
You tell me.
So you need a parameter to actually run the argument.
What's the function?
Other way around. It's the other way around. You need
What's-
an argument?
What's the function?
Print line?
Print line. Print line's the function. So let's look at where print line is defined. Okay, and so here print line takes a, and it has ... which means as many as you want, and interface means any type. So it takes a variable a and it takes a variable of any type and as many of them as you want, is what that says. Takes a variable of any type and as many of them as you want. And
Those are
that's the parameter.
Right?
and so that'd be the parameters, right? You're defining the parameters it takes, and then the argument is what got passed in.
Yeah, how we-
So that's what this question is. This function is declared with no, func main is declared with no parameters or arguments.
No arguments.
No
Oh,
parameters.
no parameters.
So it takes no arguments. Yeah, it's just splitting
Okay.
hairs,
Yeah,
right? But
got it.
and hello world, an example of a literal what?
It's a string?
Literal, okay, it is a string, but a literal parameter or argument?
It's an argument.
Argument, right? So just, again, just like, okay, let's, just kind of get clear on the words we're using.
So print line, so print line is the parameter, and then in quotations, it's the argument that it's making.
Print line's the function, and when the function is defined, right here, the function is defined, and when it's defined, here are the, is that the parameter or the argument? It says, hey, here are the parameter or parameters it takes, right? And then when we use it, we pass in an argument.
So the parameter is kind of a general statement. It's a general definition of what's going to be put in the function, and an argument is the specific thing that you actually put in.
Yeah, so when we declare the function, we say if it takes parameters or not. And when we use the function, we pass in arguments.
Parameter arguments needed within parentheses.
So just, again, like, okay, I don't know. For me, I was like, what's the difference for a while in those words? And let me go figure it out. And then literal, I hear that in programming a lot, like what's a literal, right? And so I looked that up. And literal variable constant, is like, I'll let you read. Variables, constants, we all probably know those, and then a literal is just, the value itself. And so this is a literal, hello world, it's a literal string, right? Just the value itself, but just getting comfortable with the words you're going to come across when, reading code. So here's a little bit more information. I've grayed out what we've already looked at, and code from the format package is being used, is what that 6th line is. I'll let you read. Good?
The lower left box. About
An expression. So, you know, when I was reading, I came across expressions and statements, and I don't know if that's used somewhere else in here, but I was like, oh yeah, I hear that all the time in programming documents or whatever. What's the difference between an expression and a statement? So an expression specifies the computation of a value by applying operators and functions to operands. And statements control execution. Oh, I like that. And this is straight out of the effective Go, right? Like that's how they define expressions and statements. And so basically another definition of statements, statements occur vertically, right? And control execution. So, you know, statement, 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 statement. There are things occurring vertically and controlling execution. And then expressions occur horizontally. That's another way I've heard it, you know, explained. Like, oh, here's an expression, you know, right? So we call that a literal argument, but we also might say it's a literal expression, or we might say it's the expression. And so, yeah, I don't know what other parts you might call an expression. If format.println would be considered an expression, you're taking it, putting with this expression. But I like that definition of, you know, statements. Expressions happen horizontally and statements happen vertically. I'll let you read this.
I like to think of it as an expression always returns a value. So like, if you put x, if you write a statement x equals 5, then the literal 5 returns 5, and then the expression x equals 5 also returns 5, but it also sets x equal to 5.
Yep.
So,
or if x equals x plus 2, right? X plus 2 would be the expression.
Yeah.
X equal x plus 2 would be the statement.
so x plus 2 would return the value of x plus 2. And then x equals x plus 2 actually also returns the same thing. Every expression returns something to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, expressions return values. So I think that's a good one. Statements control execution. You know, that's straight out of the Go documentation, golang.org, effective Go. And you can click the link to go to the resource, read a little
Can
bit
you go
more.
back to that last slide? And ignore the resulting value, whose effect is to evaluate the expression. And ignore the resulting value? There was returning some kind of value.
A statement is a complete line of code performs an action, while expression is a section of code that evaluates to a value. Expressions can be combined horizontally into larger expressions using operators, while statements can only be combined vertically by writing one after another or within blocks. Every expression can be used as a statement whose effect is to evaluate the expression and ignore the resulting value, but most statements cannot be used as expressions. Is to evaluate the expression and ignore the resulting value. I have no idea what.
I don't know what that means, ignore the resulting value.
Okay, so that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I can explain this.
Go for it.
Explain
Yeah,
this?
jump in.
All right. It's super weird. Do you have like a can I use a
don't.
whiteboard?
I
All right.
don't.
So like,
I could type.
if you have the statement x equals x plus 2, the expression x equals x plus 2 will return the value of x plus 2, but using it as a statement means it doesn't return anything, because you're not, so like, this is an expression, and this is an expression, but this is also a statement, because you're taking this expression and you're computing it, but you're not using the return value. I don't know.
So that's an expression, and that's an expression, and all together it's a statement. But whose effect is to evaluate the expression and ignore the resulting value.
So yeah, you ignore the new value of x. You've placed the value x plus 2 inside of x, and now you're going to ignore x because you've already finished what you're doing there.
But some other statement is going to.
But you could
take it and
theoretically
use
you
it.
could put y equals x x plus 2.
Okay.
And your expression starts x plus 2 is the first expression, and then that goes to x equals x plus 2.
Is a statement, and if you add stuff, it's an expression.
There you go. Yeah, just kind of getting the I mean,
It's confusing. It's really hard to explain.
Terminology, that's getting wordy right there.
Oh, no, it's starting to think.
but the link's there if you want to read a little bit more. This is
Starting to
actually
think out of
talking about Python for this documentation here, but you know. So, all right. So what would hello world be there? Statement or expression?
Expression.
Expression.
The whole thing is.
And then the whole line's a statement.
Oh, got a little red.
Yeah, just the red mark there. Let me make this bigger.
But the whole line is also an expression.
Okay, okay. You can't have a statement without expression, just like, you know, you could be monotone face, but, and say the same thing.
A statement is an expression that does something and returns something, but you ignore what it returns.
That's because it has to like calculate other stuff before it does the rest of the line of code, right? Because you could have like, hello world and then put like plus and then put a little calculation and then have it do a little operation.
Yeah, more expressions.
Actually, this is a perfect
Expression, yeah,
example.
operation.
If you go to the print line function that you just showed us, there's return values. And so that function actually returns something, the thing right there, yeah. It returns an int and an error, but you don't use those values.
Yeah, so it's ignoring them.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw this already. I could go to the documentation by holding in WebStorm by holding down Command and clicking at different stuff. And I'm taken to the source code. Or I could do that with Format, hold down Command and click Format and take them to the source code. And then to run this file, I'm going to use go run and go files. We saw this at the beginning class, and maybe Tuesday. I don't totally remember. But here it's go run first file.go, so it's going to run that file, and you can see I am in, right now, I'm just the hello folder is where I'm at. I'm in the hello folder. So you can see that there in the terminal right there. But then it runs it hello go. So then we also have this command. So we just learned a new command, or maybe a little bit of review, go run, and the name of the file we want to run. And then there's go build, and go build will build our files. And depending upon what kind of file we build, it'll have slightly different results. And so if we run go build on something with main, it's going to build the file and drop an executable right into this folder that we're at, right? So here, if I come to WebStorm and I look at, you know, my first hello world, and I go to the terminal, and well, let's use this terminal. It's bigger. Okay. And so I am good. I'm in the first folder, and if I go run first file, that's one way, and it runs it. I could also go build first file, and well, it doesn't look like anything happened. But when I click back here, if all works according to my understanding, I'm going to see, you know, this will go live again. It'll show me the executable. So there's the executable. So that executable is right now in that file. So I could actually say first file. Whatever that file is, what would that be? ls-la, and it's first file with no.
I think you have to put like
I have to
// There you go. Yeah.
/ first file.
There
Hello
you go.
world. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. This. What did the / do? It said this directory
It's like
/
saying
that
execute.
file.
I think it's execute.
Is it
the
execute?
file.
I think it's saying because I'm in this directory,
Yeah.
and inside this directory run that file.
Yeah, dot stands for current directory, and
Yeah.
dot stands for previous directory.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I learned that.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know that about that, but I knew that that's what dot meant because I have used that and I've never.
So what does the dot mean again then?
It just means this directory.
Where you are.
Current directory.
So this is saying, hey, in this
Oh,
directory
right,
/
okay.
that file,
Right.
run
So
it.
why wouldn't it just have run the first time you referenced it versus
I
that?
don't know.
I
Oh,
wonder
okay.
that every day.
Huh?
I wonder that every day, every time I execute.
I don't know.
something.
I think because like
that's a weird. Yeah.
I think just because I don't know. It seems to be running like Linux in a way. Like you have to. It's specific. It seems like it's very temperamental. What'd you say? Opinionated.
Opinionated.
Very specific.
Goes opinionated in some ways. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Rio. So let's go build, and builds file in executable binary. If this was run in a folder that was just a library package, it would build it and show you if there are errors, but not create a binary executable, right? Because it doesn't have a main. So if I ran this right if I ran this right here in string util, which has no main, it would run all the code, and if there are errors, it'd show me, and then it just throws away the result. That's it. That's what go build does on something that's a library without a main, because it's not an executable. So that's go build, and then we also have go install. And when I run go install, this is going to install the file in my bin folder under my workspace, right? So right now, if we look at my workspace, you know, I've got the folder, that file there. I'm going to delete it. Okay, so there's my workspace, there's my bin folder, and I'm going to come back to my terminal, and I'm working on that file, and I'm in that directory, right? And I'm going to do go install. That's it, and you know, nothing. But I come back to here, and it now has O1 Hello World. So that's the name that it gave it. And O1 Hello World, let me just check that. Where did it get the name? So I got the name right there, O1 Hello World. Okay. And so now from my terminal, because I have this binary executable, and in my terminal I also have just looking here, hold on.
I figured it out why you have to put // but I don't think I could explain it to.
Okay, so right here in my path, I have a path to user local go bin. So when I tell my computer to run something, it's going to look down all my paths and see if it knows how to run it. So I now have this binary code right here, 01 hello world. Well, I could go through like putting in the full path and everything, or I could just type in that code and it runs. And the reason it runs is it looks down all my path directories and says, does anybody know how to run this, or where is that? And then it finally finds it right there. I could have also done this, maybe, and you Linux people, and then it's called O1 Hello World. What did I do wrong there?
What are you trying to do?
Just run it by putting in the full path. No, this is just in the bin.
It has no.
I don't know why.
It has no.
I can explain the doc.
It has nothing to tell it to do. Nothing. It's just it just put it in there. It's not telling it what to do.
There's some command in there I'm missing, but you know.
Wait,
All right. Yeah.
Was that the O1 Hello World folder, and does it also have an O1 Hello World and O1 Hello World again?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to put that again? Like, okay, press enter.
No, it's right there in my bin. It's
I
right
would
here.
say hit up arrow and do an LS of that. But hit up arrow, then home, then type LS space, hit enter.
Yeah.
Up arrow.
Home.
Home.
Or Mac doesn't have home. Go to the beginning of that line. Like control left arrow. No. Command left arrow.
And then
Okay,
do
yeah,
what?
then LS and space. And then hit enter. Oh, it doesn't even say that's a folder.
Yeah, well, it's a file.
Well, it should just come back saying that file.
That's a file right there.
Yeah, it says no such file, so like.
Oh no, where user local go bin.
Oh, it's
Use.
missing
Oh,
the
I'm looking at.
in between. Oh,
I need this
yes, missing.
because I'm in the wrong place. Oh no. Here, let's try that. My home directory / documents / go / bin / O1 hello world.
What is the home directory in Mac?
Tilde.
Yeah,
Tilde.
no, I mean like no.
I was typing in the wrong thing. Sorry, I copied the wrong deal. And I was showing you the wrong thing in my environment variables too. The one I need is that one. So that's what, here it is right there. That's the one. I was pointing to the wrong one. That's the one right there. So if I copied that one, all right, we figured it out. If I copied that one and then did O1, hello world, now it runs.
I saw something real quick that I kind of skipped when I was installing on my
Yeah.
Windows. We definitely do need App Engine.
You could do it that way, I think, but I don't think it's needed.
Okay, so if we did install it or did not,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah, just the regular setup. If
Okay.
you have a laptop, I can help you with that. So that's go install. It installs the binary when it's an executable, and when it's just a library, right, without an executable, it puts the results in the package under your workspace. So that's what this looks like. So here I'm doing it on the folder which has an executable, and I get the hello in my bin folder, and then I do it on a folder that's just a package, right, and it puts the results in package. And you can see here I'm inside package right there, and then puts the results of string util way over here in O2 library. So then this just shows you everything I just showed you, right? With the different paths. You want to review that, see that? Once a program's been compiled into the bin, as I have a path variable pointing to the bin, I can run my program by typing the program's name, in this case, hello. So it's a slightly different name in this example. And this is where I set my path in my bash RC file or my bash profile. And then if I comment my path out, that file will no longer run because it no longer knows where it is. And then, yeah, just clarifying here that, you know, in my code, my Go path is pointing to the this Go folder. So when I was originally working on this, I had it point to something else. That's my Go workspace. So finally, we got through this. So code completion, you know, we saw a little bit of that with WebStorm. Package main and func main, the entry point for your program. Packages, also known as libraries. Importing packages, functions. You know, what makes a function accessible outside a package is capitalization, right? So it makes the function public if it's got a capitalized first letter, lowercase, restricted, the function's restricted to the package. Parameters versus arguments. So when you declare a function, you know, if it's going to take something, we say you know, we declare it with these parameters. And when we use the function, we say, hey, it's taking these arguments. Expressions versus statement. Expressions occur horizontally or vertically. Horizontally, and statements occur vertically. And statements control program execution, right? Variable, constant, literal. And command click taking you to source code inside WebStorm. Go run, go build, go install. Those are all things that we've just done. So,
in that list of assignments, how many do you think you expect us to do in this weekend? All of them?
well, yeah, I was hoping to get through all these presentations, but I think, is this 3? 3, dang.
It's hard. I have to leave a little bit early.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. So here are a couple questions you should be able to answer, and that's some of the homework over the weekend. What do we have next? So let's look at Go Get, and this is pretty short because it's got a lot of detailed steps, and I show you how to rebuild the entire Hello project again, but do it with GitHub, and then how to go get that code that you just put onto GitHub and bring it back down. And then you'll see how to use Go Get. Are you guys game for that, or you're full? Energy level seems a little bit like you've been given too much, you're saturated. I would love to have gotten you guys to, I mean, you can write hello world now, but variables and constants, we got a little bit, I think we got another day in there. You ready for more? Raise your hand. You wanna bang away at stuff a little bit while I'm here to help you and not have any more lecture? Raise your hand.
That'd be cool too. I think if we did do some hands-on coding, then it would
Sure.
be easier
All right.
to-
Let's do some hands-on then. So let's everybody create hello world.